Hey guys, welcome back to FnF Collects, and today we have a bit of a different type of video. I'm actually going to be taking you guys through my collection, at least the way I used to display it back when I was in Boston. I just thought to myself, now that I'm about to start this new chapter for FnF Collects here in Dubai, I wanted to first show you guys kind of the peak of my collection at the end of my chapter back in Boston. And I'm really excited to really take you guys through essentially my personality, because when I say I'm a collector, I truly mean it. And I don't just mean that I'm a collector of cards, collector of memorabilia, collector of Funkos. I'm really just a collector of anything and everything that I like. And I finally get to show you guys kind of all these different parts of my personality. You know, I'm a huge fan of anime, as you guys can obviously tell from my Funko collection. My Funkos are all about kind of purely collecting them. That's why I take them outside of the box. You know, you Funko collectors out there, some of you might get it, some of you might hate me for it, but I never plan on selling them ever in my life. I just want to kind of enjoy them and display them in a way that suits me. And then I of course have my sports card collection, both a mix of basketball and football, aka soccer. If you guys have been watching this channel for a while, you would know that I collect both sports. And honestly, I have everything from game-used basketball nets from the Celtics game to, game-used flooring from basketball games, signed Funkos, exclusive basketballs like that Travis Scott collab over there, and just random stuff. I even have some fake Pokemon cards that are pretty funny. I just kind of added them to my collection. And yeah, I'm going to be taking you guys through my collection kind of segment by segment, kind of category by category, and show you guys a bit of a deeper look into all the different aspects of my collection. I'm just kind of giving you guys a really quick overview over here. Shout out to Vaulted Displays, because this really elevated my collection, kind of being able to display my cards on the wall, especially my prized Marcus Smart Prism Monopoly Rainbow over there. But yeah, you know, I've been collecting kind of more seriously or more intensely for the last 4 years, but I've been collecting Funkos and other kind of random collectibles ever since I could remember, you know, ever since middle school. I'm 27 right now, so, you know, for the past 15 years or so I've been collecting. But over the last few years I really delved into sports, both memorabilia as well as sports cards. So super excited to kind of share that with you guys. I'm in love with this room. I'm definitely sad to have had to leave it behind, but you know what? On to bigger and better things, hopefully. So first of all, I'm going to start you guys off with my Naruto collection. Honestly, it's my favorite anime. It was my favorite, one of the really first animes that I really got into and kind of completed the whole series. I tried to put things in a particular way. Here you have kind of like a moment. I got the first Hokage fighting Madara, and then of course the new gen with Naruto and Sasuke. Tried to keep kind of Akatsuki together. You got Asuma Shikamaru there in the back, second saddest arc in Naruto. If you know, you know. Don't want to spoil anything. And then yeah, I just probably have the biggest Funko collection in Naruto, specifically Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, more than any other anime I collect, just because I've actually been collecting it the longest. So as far as my collections of Funkos, Naruto definitely is the biggest and deepest, but I'm on episode like 850 in One Piece, so who knows, my One Piece collection is definitely going to grow now that I have a little bit more space to work with here in Dubai. But yeah, speaking of, here you got some of my One Piece collection. My favorite character is Zoro, so of course I had to get a miniature replica of every single one of his swords. You can see all 4 of them over there, but of course had to get Law's sword as well. Chambers, if you know what I'm saying. And then of course here we have more Naruto figurines. Here's the bigger one that didn't really fit in the shelf. I kind of put them on top. But yeah, I don't just collect Funkos. Here's some figurines, regular figurines of One Piece of all different sorts. I don't really try to put myself into just one category. I don't like boxing myself in with my collections. I really just, you know, if it fits my collection and I think it's going to elevate it, boom, I get it. Now to Black Clover. Right now, honestly, one of my favorite recent kind of modern animes. Black Clover is amazing. If you guys are into anime and you haven't watched it, I definitely recommend. I kind of tried to group them up here by squad, or you have the siblings in them back there in the top row on the top, all three siblings. And then you got the Demon Slayer Funko collection. Demon Slayer was the first anime I showed my wife, and she is now an anime freak. So Demon Slayer, great intro anime. If you're not into anime but you want to give it a chance, Demon Slayer is the way to go. The best graphics in the industry when it comes to anime. Absolutely incredible, at least from what I've seen. And then my, quote unquote, the new crush on the block, JJK, Jujutsu Kaisen. As you can tell, it's definitely the newest, and that's why it's kind of the most bare bone relative to some of my other shelves. But you can bet that this collection's only getting started, and I'm super excited to go deeper into it and collect and make it, make it a super cool shelf here probably. Now, of course, my main collection more than anything nowadays has been sports. This is my World Cup section. You have Messi winning the World Cup there in the back. 2 official match balls, Roberto Carlos on-card autograph. Those are the match balls throughout the World Cup, all the way to the finals. Now, here's something pretty cool I decided to do. This is a real 11-man lineup. I tried to keep it position specific. This is Team Horizontal. So I decided to have a shelf full of just horizontal cards, and he called it Team Horizontal. You got Pep as the only exception there as the manager. As the coach, you got him as a vertical card. But other than that, this is Team Horizontal, position specific. Pause if you want to check it out. I had a lot of fun with it. And here is Team Vertical. You got Bale in the right wing. Here's a little cheat. I have this Legends booklet of game-worn patches and jerseys. And then you got Sane over there. You have a super attacking midfield with Odegaard, Bellingham, and Szoboszlai. But you know what? As long as we can outscore Team Horizontal, you know what I'm saying? Defense on lock over there. I really try to collect on-card autographs when I can. Of course, who doesn't like an on-card autograph? But yeah, that's Team Vert. I try to have fun with my collection. That's kind of the whole point, right? And now on to basketball. Honestly, my favorite sport. Yeah, I would say basketball is my favorite sport. That is a Jason Kidd signed golf ball that looks like a basketball. One of the more unique items in my collection, I'd say. And yeah, this shelf is really dedicated to non-Celtics basketball. That's why you have everything from Pacers to you got the Blazers to we got the Ant Auto in the front, kind of the centerpiece of that shelf, to the D-Wade autograph, Penny Hardaway signed Funko, Shaq custom card. Shout out to Kev Cards, amazing work. And then now to my main PC, the Boston Celtics. Obviously, it's hard for me to talk about every single thing on this shelf because that would just make this video an hour long. But check out this ticket. This is a game ticket from March 24, which is actually my birthday. Now, I didn't go to that game, but I found a guy selling it in a card show. And when I saw it's my birthday, I was like, you know what? I'll pay you $10 for it. And they gave it to me. This is a bottle opener that has a piece of TD Garden game-used parquet on it back from the Larry Bird days. So whenever I see unique pieces of memorabilia, I just jump on, I snatch that because I just love adding it to my collection to help elevate it. Now here we continue on more with the Celtics, with the exception of this humongous Shaq autograph. I love that. You got Paul Pierce signed basketball, inscribed the truth. And then you got Jason Tatum signed City Edition jersey of my favorite City Edition jersey of all time, which is the Bill Russell City Edition jersey. Now, you may have heard me earlier mention that I have a game-used Boston Celtics net, and this is that one. I bought it straight from Fanatics. It came with this certificate of authenticity. It even tells me which game it was used, and honestly, love that. I love displaying it. I don't care if it gets a little dusty or whatever, because I just want to enjoy it at the end of the day. Over here, you have a few more of my custom-made cards. Got a James Harden back in the Rockets. You got AI, and I love my custom cards because the jersey pieces are authentically signed, and I have the authenticity sticker in the back of the card. You got the slow grind basketball. Shout out to Isaiah Thomas. You don't have to have that in my collection. Isaiah Thomas is the reason I started playing basketball because I am 5'9". And now on for a little bit of a sports break. Let's get into my Pokemon collection. Like I said, Pokemon, I just kind of collect what I like. You have some fake first edition booster box minis over there. And then here you have my TCG collection. I have the FnF Collects custom Pokemon themed, stand right there. I have some of my One Piece cards on display. I got Zoro there, representing One Piece. And I have some of my nicer hits out on display. Now, I actually have way more Pokemon cards than I display, and that's something that I kind of want to change here in Dubai. Hopefully, I can give you guys a tour of my new collection room, maybe in a few months, kind of when it's fully ready and like really at its best. But I definitely want to show more TCG love because I have a ton. I just don't display it because I kind of prioritize my Funkos and my sports cards. So here you actually have some banners from Celtics playoff games that I went to. So super cool memory there. And then this is my first ever rainbow attempt. It is not complete yet. It is the first year of Prism Monopoly. Marcus Smart, one of my favorite Celtics players ever. And I am missing the 1 of 1. So if you ever see a Marcus Smart Monopoly Prism 1 of 1, please let your boy know. Hit me up on Instagram, FnF Collects. And I would be so grateful because it's super hard to find, and I'm trying to complete the rainbow, so I need that. I also collect Marcus Smart out of 10 cards, but I've kind of eased up on that a little bit just so I can focus on other parts of my collection. One Piece being One Piece, pun not intended there. And yeah, the more I watch One Piece, of course, the more I get into it. And to have officially licensed One Piece cards is sick. So here's actually my first mega signed jersey, huge name, and that's Giannis. And he actually inscribed MVP 18 on it because it is from when he won MVP for the first time in 2018. So a super cool jersey for my collection. It's one of the 2 jerseys I have framed, or I had framed. And last but not least, I have my wax collection. Now, it's not really a collection because I ripped through every single one of these boxes to record all my videos that you guys have been watching for the last few months. All my pre-recorded videos were all these boxes. You can probably go and match every box you see here to a video I published in the last few months. But yeah, that's my collection. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love sharing it with you guys. And until next time, FnF Collects, out.